And the family of one of the victims of the Hanukkah party stabbing attack in New York is speaking out. Thanks for joining us on Action 10 News at 6. I'm Brenda Matuti in for Andy Lascano. A man is facing charges after a video surfaced online showing him allegedly slapping a child. But first, a warning, the video is hard to watch. A viewer sent this video to our newsroom. We sent it to the Corpus Christi police. It shows a man sitting on a bed and slapping a 9-month-old child at least 3 times before screaming at the cell phone camera. Another young child was watching it happen. Police say they've identified the man as 31-year-old Marcus Reyna. We're told he was arrested on Tuesday. He's charged with injury to a child. Reyna's bond is set at $250,000. We're also told Child Protective Services removed the 9-month-old child along with a 2-year-old and 5-month-old from the home. Police say 5 other half-siblings are being cared for by family members. Breaking news out of Baghdad, where at least 3 rockets were fired at a Baghdad International Airport. At least 4 people are dead. Iraq Security Media Cell says the rocket landed near a cargo hall. The attack occurred amid tensions with the U.S. after an Iran-backed militia attacked the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. The Pentagon has deployed 750 soldiers to the Middle East. An additional 3,000 are on alert and preparing to deploy as well. We'll have more at 10. Beefing up church security is not something you hear every day, but area law enforcement is offering free specialized training for churches that are interested. Action 10 News reporter Crystal Dominguez joined us in studio with those details. Crystal.
Brenda, Aransas Pass police are reaching out to Coastal Bend churches, and the reason why is they believe that having a church security team in place can save lives if, in fact, we find ourselves in another active shooter situation. Monday, December 30th, a man opens fire inside West Freeway Church of Christ near Fort Worth.
Today, evil walked boldly among us. But let me remind you, good people raised up and stopped it before it got worse.
Within 6 seconds, 3 people were killed, including the shooter, who was shot by an armed member of the church's volunteer security team.
The armed confrontation was responded to with an armed response, and it immediately stopped the violence. It stopped the killing.
The Aransas Pass Police Department offers free training for churches looking to beef up their security.
We believe in having good citizens who are armed and capable of handling a firearm and know what to do in an emergency situation.
Texas legislation recently cleared the way for licensed gun owners and security teams at places of worship. This is in light of the 2017 massacre at a church in Sutherland Springs, where 26 people were killed.
Today in our society, there's so much evil. We all need to be prepared. We need to take responsibility for our safety.
For several years, Aransas Pass police instructors have held license to carry training courses for anyone wanting to obtain their concealed handgun license. They also have an active shooter training program.
They can arm their staff and then they can learn what to do in a violent active attacker situation.
Administrative Captain Lynn Pierce, one of 3 instructors, says they hold classes once a month.
Teach the laws that deal with license to carry, use of force, nonviolent dispute resolution.
Chief Blanchard says a handful of churches have expressed interest in the class. Churches that are interested in training can message the Aransas Pass Police Department on Facebook or call 361-758-5224. In studio, Crystal Dominguez, Action 10 News.
Thank you, Crystal. A home surveillance camera captured the moment a woman was beaten and abducted. But first, a warning, the video you are about to see may be hard to watch.
Stop, Darko! Why would you do that?
This happened yesterday, just minutes after the new year began. The woman can be seen running to a house where she bangs on the door, screaming for help. A man gets out of a vehicle, runs up to her, and begins to kick her as he drags her to the vehicle. This afternoon, Las Vegas police announced they have arrested the man in the video. The daughter of one of the victims who was attacked during a Hanukkah celebration is pleading for an end to anti-Semitic violence.
Please, let's stand up together and stop the hatred.
The daughter of Joseph Newman says doctors are not optimistic the 71-year-old will fully recover. He is one of 5 Jewish men that was injured when an attacker armed with a machete burst into a Hanukkah celebration Saturday.
He really may never ever speak again, or wake up, or walk.
The incident is just one of several attacks on Jewish residents in and around New York City in recent weeks. Police have increased patrols in Jewish communities. The suspect in the machete attack is facing several charges, including hate crime violations. Fire crews were back at the house on Edgewater after a fire reignited. Flames rekindled at this recovery house. The first time they were there was on New Year's Day. A garage fire spread to the house next door, the same one that started burning again this morning. Firefighters say some hot spots they couldn't get to yesterday smoldered until the home started burning around 2:30 this morning. As for the cause, that has not been determined, but fireworks are suspected. New Year's Eve was a very busy night for the fire and police department. This is video taken from that night showing the massive illegal fireworks activity once the clock hit midnight. Fire Chief Robert Rocha blames the increase in fireworks activity on a change in state law that prevents them from confiscating fireworks before they're brought into the city. City Manager Peter Zanoni and the chief say the number of complaints overwhelmed them.
We were going from call to call, and so we have our regular call volume on a day-to-day basis. Add to that fireworks calls, and it created a perfect storm where
we have so much police force, and so there were no deaths, no lost lives over that holiday night, which is great. That's a great testament to enforcement and awareness and education.
We're told some citations were issued, but we were not given an exact amount. The city manager did mention that the city is now looking into a public fireworks display. The FDA announced new steps to try to stop the teen vaping epidemic, but the policy stopped far short of what health experts demanded. Kenneth Craig reports that it's sparking an angry outcry.
The Trump administration announced a crackdown on flavored e-cigarettes, promising to remove the products that are most popular with young people. That includes all mint, fruit, and dessert flavored cartridges.
The enforcement policy we're issuing today confirms our commitment to dramatically limit children's access to certain flavored e-cigarette products we know are so appealing to them.
Anti-tobacco groups immediately objected, saying the policy stops short.
We're deeply disappointed.
Both tobacco and menthol-flavored products will be allowed to stay on the market.
Kids who are using flavors like mint will simply move over to menthol.
The Department of Health and Human Services says virtually all e-cigarettes on the market are illegal, having failed to apply to the FDA for authorization. Banned flavors will be the priority of this enforcement action and will be removed from shelves within 30 days. For all electronic nicotine products, manufacturers have until mid-May to apply for an application.
It would be nothing short of criminal if the FDA allowed the flavored e-cigarette products that have caused over 5 million of our youth under the age of 18 to use these products to get back on the market.
18-year-old Chance Amarada was one of those youths and told CBS last year it may have contributed to his lung injury.
I just freaked out, and they said, "Your lung has collapsed. You have to go to surgery right now."
The policy will apply to closed cartridge pods, but not the refillable e-liquids sold in vape shops, which are most popular with adults. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
Coming up on Action 10 News at 6, the Coastal Bend Food Bank provided more than 10 million pounds of food to needy families last year. We'll take a look what the food bank is doing to top that amount and how you can help. The Coastal Bend Food Bank helps provide food for thousands of families. This year, the food bank has several goals, but the community will need to step in. Jeremiah Marshall has the story.
For 2019, the Coastal Bend Food Bank distributed 10.2 million pounds of food, and that's across 11 counties. Now, for this year, 2020, they want to achieve a higher goal, but they need your help to do so. The Coastal Bend Food Bank says that 10.2 million pound distribution equals 8.6 million meals across 11 counties. Operations manager James Burnett says what helped the food bank was years of growth, donations from the community, and the many volunteers.
I know looking back about 10 years ago, we were distributing right at about 5 million pounds a year, and that was about our capacity, and the need was out there. So our job at the time was to try to source more food.
And coming up later tonight, I'll provide ways on how you can donate, which will not only help the Coastal Bend Food Bank achieve their goals, but will also help fight hunger here in South Texas. Jeremiah Marshall, Action 10 News.
Still to come, the city is making some big personnel changes, and Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray will have a look at the forecast after the break.
Now, Action 10 Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray with your Doppler 10 weather forecast. Good evening. Our photographer Jay Pena captured this afternoon in Flower Bluff. Isn't this gorgeous? This is a double rainbow, and you can see the primary bow right here, and here's the secondary bow. Now, a rainbow develops when you get the sunlight going through the water droplets or the rain droplets. It reflects and it also refracts, meaning it bends and causes a spectrum of color. The second time it reflects, if it reflects twice, then it can cause a secondary bow, which tends to be dimmer. And you'll always notice the colors are reversed in the secondary bow. But isn't that pretty with that sky? And we also had that rain earlier today, which is clearing out now. So we did get some rain out of this system. It wasn't a lot, but we did get up to 1/2 of an inch in Flower Bluff. Jim Sauter, our weather watcher in Flower Bluff, checked in with just about 1/2 an inch of rain. The airport in Corpus Christi, though, 3/10, and Alice with 3/10 of an inch of rain. So the clouds were with us much of the day. This is a time lapse. This is from Beeville, and you can see the clouds finally are clearing out in the last few frames here. That drier air is starting to work its way in, and that will be with us tomorrow to give us some sunshine. But as far as the rain is ending now. You can see it's starting to pull off the coastline, and the clearing line is getting closer. This will gradually work its way in, but may take until morning before the coast sees that clearing line. There'll still be a few clouds around. Lows tonight then, inland will be a little cooler because of that, into the mid to upper 40s, but as you get closer to the coast, lower 50s tonight, with the wind shifting to the northwest around daybreak tomorrow, behind a cold front. However, it's not going to live up to its name. It doesn't have the cold air. It does, however, have the drier air and the gusty winds. So how is it going to change our weather? Here's a look at your Friday, an hourly look showing first of all the temperatures. Not much of a change in temperature behind this system. We start in the 50s, we make it into the mid to upper 60s tomorrow. But we are going to notice all that sunshine. The clouds clear out early, and by 7, 8 o'clock in the morning it's sunny, and we'll see plenty of sunshine through the weekend. But the wind's going to pick up from the northwest. It'll be lower humidity and windy as we see those winds around 20, 25 miles an hour sustained tomorrow afternoon, and temperatures reach the upper 60s to near 70. Isn't that nice? I love January in Corpus Christi. We're talking mild temperatures and that northwest gusty wind. So we had our surface low pressure track up the coastline with the first batch of rain yesterday, and then behind it we got this last bit of rain here from the upper level system that's moving through. Now that upper level system is going to send a surface cold front into the area, and again, it doesn't have much cool air, but it is going to give us that wind tomorrow. Here's future winds, and you can see that tonight that south wind keeps us pretty mild. It starts to shift to the west-northwest and picks up tomorrow, so it's going to be on the windy side through the day. However, tomorrow night the winds start to diminish, and that with clear skies will give us some cold temperatures in our inland areas. This is for tomorrow night now. So if you're out early morning Saturday, it's going to be on the cold side, upper 30s and low 40s. But the rest of the weekend, boy, does it look nice. We're looking at sunshine, and the wind is lighter Saturday and then shifts to the south Sunday and picks up just a little bit. Here is your 7-day forecast. This is brought to you by AutoNation. AutoNation will purchase your car even if you don't purchase a vehicle from them. Shop now at the AutoNation lot near you. So all in all, we've got some pretty nice weather ahead, plenty of sun. Nights are pretty chilly this weekend though, but they do start to warm up. Becomes breezy Monday. We see those temperatures in the 70s Sunday and Monday, cooling down behind our next front, but it is dry.
Action 10 News has learned Assistant City Manager Mark Van Vleck resigned during a meeting with the city manager this morning. Van Vleck oversaw 8 departments, all dealing with the city's infrastructure, including water, utilities, and streets. He was also a sometimes controversial figure here at City Hall. City Manager Peter Zanoni says Van Vleck had trouble working with the community and city stakeholders.
Technically, he's a strong engineer. I think given where the city is, we need somebody with a little bit more leadership skill and a little bit more ability to coordinate across multiple jurisdictions.
The city manager said Van Vleck decided to resign because he didn't agree with the direction the city was headed in. There was another change announced at City Hall today. The city has hired a new director of public works for the streets operation department. His name is Richard Martinez. For residents tired of pothole-filled streets, this is an important hire. Martinez oversees the streets of Fort Worth in an assistant role right now, but he'll take over the top job here on January 20th.
Albert experience is primarily in heavy highway construction with TxDOT, And what we need is somebody that knows how to run a city public works department. And that public works department focuses on streets and the entire right-of-way. And that's what Richard knows from his over 25 years of experience in this area.
Martinez will replace current Street Operations Director Albert Quintanilla. Zanoni says Martinez is a better fit for the job. A local family-owned business in Alice is putting on a lemonade stand tomorrow, and the proceeds are going towards building a small outdoor library available to anyone in the community. Take a look. We don't really hear of people putting on a lemonade stand in the winter, much less on rainy days. But as unusual as it is, 2 little girls are doing just that in Alice.
It's so fun.
But not only because it's fun, but because they want to help the kids in their community. They'll be selling lemonade for $1 a cup, and all the money they make is going to pay to build a little library on the south side of town.
For family literacy and to promote reading education on the south side of town.
Their mom, Amanda Frydek, says it was their idea. And of course, their family business, Silver Star Food Store, will be there to support them.
They love to read. You know, Elliot does really good. It's her first year with AR, so this is her kind of her project, and Lanie's just kind of learning the ropes.
To help kids learn how to read.
People can drop off books they want to share with others at the Silver Star Food Store or at the little library. And the books taken don't have to be returned.
Help kids get books that might not be able to go to the library, might not have books at home, and so this is a way that they can recycle books.
The cost to buy the equipment and pay for the manual labor to install the little library will be between $300 to $400. The Frydek family says they hope the community members will come out to enjoy a fresh glass of lemonade, because after all, the little library will benefit everyone. The lemonade sale will be tomorrow at noon at the Silver Star Food Store in Alice, located at 909 South Cammon Street. And coming up on Action 10 News at 6.
It's like seeing a unicorn. We were just all blown away.
A massive 13-foot great white shark catches a group of fishermen by surprise. Stay with us. Former Housing Secretary Julian Castro has ended his run for president. Castro struggled at the polls, rarely exceeding 2% in national surveys. He tweeted that he was proud of everything he and his supporters accomplished. Castro was mayor of San Antonio and the only Latino candidate running for president. A man stole a truck with a sleeping passenger and a goat inside it and drove it from Missouri to Oklahoma before being arrested. Police say the suspect stole the truck while it was parked outside an adult video store in Missouri. The victim was asleep in the truck with the goat. The suspect drove from Missouri to Oklahoma, where he finally released the victim and the goat. He was arrested and is facing several charges. The police department posted on social media, quote, "Okay, 2020, it only took you 4.5 hours to get weird. Let's slow down on the carjacking, goat napping calls for the remainder of the year." And several fishermen out with the charter group off the coast of Florida reeled in a pretty big catch to ring in 2020.
This thing will eat you. The rod tweaked over, and man, it was on. It was like seeing a unicorn. We were just all blown away.
Actually started out pretty slow. They say they spent about 3 hours without any real bites. And then all of a sudden there was a great white shark. It put up a pretty good fight. It took the entire boat and working in turns over an hour to get it up close. But eventually they were able to tag and measure it. They say it was 13 feet long. Stay with us. We'll be right back.